Ignorance is bliss. Why do we believe the things that we believe? What would you do if I gave you the chance to learn an unseen truth, one that no one else in the world fully understood save for you? Would you take it? Would you run from it? Would you be afraid? Would you be excited? Would it be a responsibility or a privilege? This very question makes for a very interesting premise. However, a much more interesting look at it is, would you believe the truth even if I told you? Why do we believe what we believe despite all the evidence that might point to the contrary? Why do we hold on to things that we know are not in line with the reality of the world we live in? Let's start at the beginning. A definition of truth and falsehood. What is truth? What is falsehood? And what does it mean to believe? A quick Wikipedia search gives a brilliant opening sentence. Truth or verity is the property being in accord with facts or reality. This, for the purposes of our conversation, is enough. Falsehood, therefore, is the property of not being in accord with reality or facts. Belief is an understanding, a subjective agreement that a situation, something, or statement is true and or reflective of reality. It goes to say then that if something is true and in accord with reality, then the belief in that will be a direct result of the understanding of the truthfulness of said thing. However, it is common knowledge that belief somehow can be based on falsehoods disguised as truths, and in the worst cases, based on nothing at all. What is the nature of belief? I've had to ask myself this question because I have been questioning the nature of belief and the Savior's demanding belief from me. Why do many people not see that these saviors are only in it for material gain? That these messages they preach are not to save you, but to make themselves wealthy off of your desire for real, tangible, personal salvation? My logic was easy enough. These truths were visible enough. So why then did people refuse to believe the truth? Eventually I realized I wasn't asking people to believe in the truth. I was asking them to give up hope. The first and perhaps most difficult reason why many people do not want to believe in the truth is that the truth challenges something that gives them hope. I know friends, people that their faith or identity in a certain thing is the most precious thing to them. Strip away the money, the possessions, the degrees, the jobs, and all they have, all their worldview is built on, will come crumbling down. Questioning, even for a second, is gnawing away at the life rope that gives us hope. The only thing keeping us propped up in a world full of madness. Believing in lies often feels safer than confronting truths that threaten the very foundation of our identities. The illusion of safety can sometimes outweigh the discomfort of seeking what is real. The truth isn't always its own reward. There are a lot of things that could go wrong when you make yourself available to the truth. Many people would rather believe in the lie simply because it is easier to believe the story that is right in front of you. Beyond the emotional comfort of hope, our cognitive shortcuts further complicate the pursuit of truths. It's harder doing the heavy lifting of actually trying to figure out the truth. The concept of heuristics is a simple one, a mental shortcut that allows us to come to a quick solution to a problem. Using heuristics, people come to an understanding that might not be consistent with a larger picture, but be very consistent with the problem at hand. For many people who have very little interest in the mental and deductive work that goes into truth finding, it's certainly much easier to accept what you have been fed. The work of looking for the truth is a difficult and mostly scorned one. Finally, sometimes the idea of questioning what you and I believe in can be the first step into a social unraveling that we as a species are not yet ready for. What if everything you believed in was a lie? What if aliens were truly real? What if heaven or hell really exists? Many versions of questions that we are terrified to attempt answering because the idea of the question threatens the noble lie. The idea that we can only remain part of society by subscribing to certain beliefs told to us by certain people. The noble lie suggests that certain societal beliefs, while untrue, are necessary to maintain order and cohesion. But what happens when these lies are exposed? What happens when you challenge the truths told to you by a class with a vested interest in keeping you under a certain threshold? What happens when you ask your employer why you have to slave away to receive minimum wage? What happens when you ask fellow members of your social group why you hold on to these beliefs that encourage the exploitation of people like you? We may never know. There is a lot more comfort in believing the noble lie, that we will be rewarded justly if we don't ask questions, if we don't rock the boat. So what does this mean? To be honest, I'm not sure. I will continue my quest and questions concerning truth and knowledge. I will question the premise of every information presented to me. While it is certainly inconvenient and comes with a harsh dose of pain, we never might truly live up to our potentials if we do not come to an understanding of the nature of truths.